Imagine knowing exactly when someone is lying to your face and having the power to make them confess without even raising your voice. Most people think that catching a liar requires a dramatic confrontation, like a scene out of a movie where you slam your hand on the table and shout the truth out of them. But in the real world, that is exactly how you make a liar shut their mouth forever. When you attack someone, their brain goes into survival mode, their defenses shoot up, and they will stick to their lie until the very end. The real secret to getting the truth is making the other person feel completely safe, even when they know they did something wrong. Today, we are diving deep into the hidden psychology of truth-telling to look at why people lie and the exact steps you can use to get anyone to come clean naturally. We will look at a mind trick that forces a liar to fix your math, a simple way to use silence to make them talk, and a strategy used by top investigators to crack the toughest cases. By the end of this video, you will have a step-by-step blueprint to uncover the truth in your relationship, at work, or with your friends, without ever looking like the bad guy. Stay tuned, because the last technique we will share is so powerful that it almost feels like a cheat code for human behavior. To get someone to stop lying, you first have to understand why they started lying in the first place. Think about the last time you told a lie. You probably didn't do it because you are an evil mastermind who wants to destroy the world. You did it because you were scared. Human beings are wired for survival, and from a very young age, we learn that lying is a shield. We lie to avoid getting into trouble, to protect ourselves from being embarrassed, or to keep from hurting someone we love. When a person feels a threat coming, their brain triggers a fight-or-flight response. An accusation feels like a punch to the face. If you walk up to someone and say, "I know you took my money," or "you are cheating on me," their brain treats that statement as an attack. Instantly, they have to make a choice to fight you by arguing back, or to run away by lying and denying everything. Once they say that first lie, they are trapped. They have to keep lying to protect the original lie, and the conversation turns into a massive shouting match where nobody wins. The trick is to remove the threat entirely. If there is no attack, there is nothing for them to defend against. When you change the environment from a courtroom into a safe space, you take away their shield. This does not mean you are letting them off the hook or saying that lying is fine. It just means you are playing chess instead of checkers. You are focusing on the end goal, which is getting the raw truth, rather than venting your anger. Before you even say a single word, you need to set up the environment so that it works in your favor. If you try to get the truth out of someone while you are driving in heavy traffic, or while standing in a busy office hallway, you will fail. People need to feel calm to drop their guard. First, lower your volume. When we are upset, our voices naturally get higher and faster. Force yourself to speak slowly, softly, and in a deep tone. It signals to their brain that you are completely calm. Second, keep your body open. Uncross your arms and legs. Do not clench your fists or point your fingers. Sit down next to the person rather than standing over them, which can feel very scary. Third, find a private spot. Never try to get the truth out of someone in front of an audience. If their friends or co-workers are watching, their pride will force them to lie just to save face. You also need to change the way you ask questions. Ditch the yes or no questions. If you ask, "Did you break my vase?" it is too easy for them to just say no without thinking. Instead, use how and what questions. Ask things like, "What happened with the vase earlier?" This forces them to give a longer answer, and the more they talk, the harder it is to keep a lie straight. Finally, act like you are on their team. Use the word "we" instead of "you." Instead of saying, "Why did you mess up this project?" try saying, "How can we fix this project together?" Now that you've set the stage, it is time to use a bit of psychological martial arts. One of the best ways to get information is a concept known as the accidental correction. This technique works because human beings hate it when people have incorrect information about them, especially if that information makes them look way worse than they actually are. Their urge to correct the mistake is often much stronger than their urge to keep up the lie. To use exaggeration, start by thinking of the real number. Let us say you suspect your teenage child snuck out and spent 5,000 naira of your money without asking. Instead of asking them if they took the 5,000 naira, you throw out a massive, exaggerated number. You walk in and say, "I just checked the drawer, and there is 50,000 naira missing. I am really worried about what is going on. Next, wait for the correction. Because 50,000 naira sounds like a massive crime, their brain panics. They do not want to be blamed for a huge theft. To save themselves from the big charge, they will immediately blurt out the actual truth. No, I didn't take 50,000. It was only 5,000. Then, accept the win. Just like that, they have confessed to the act without you ever having to accuse them of a single thing. They walked right into the truth because they were trying to defend themselves against a much bigger lie. Another incredible tool that costs nothing and works every single time is the power of absolute silence. In our daily lives, silence feels weird and awkward. When two people are talking and a sudden pause happens, both people feel a strong urge to say something, anything, just to fill the empty space. You can use this exact quirk of human nature to crack a liar. Imagine you ask someone a question like, "Where were you last night?" They give you an answer that sounds fake, like, "Oh, I was just fixing a flat tire on the side of the road for 3 hours." Instead of arguing with them or listing all the reasons why that story makes no sense, you do absolutely nothing. You do not say a word. You do not shake your head. You just sit there, keep soft eye contact, and look at them with a calm, curious face. Inside a liar's brain during silence, major things begin to happen. First, they start to doubt themselves. They think, did they believe me? Why aren't they saying anything? Did I make a mistake in my story? As the silence lasts, the panic builds up, and their stress levels go high. Because of this, they will keep talking just to fix the awkwardness and convince you, meaning they will start adding more and more details to their story. Eventually, the story crumbles. Since they are making things up on the spot, they will say something that contradicts what they said 2 minutes ago. They will trip over their own feet, and the truth will spill out on its own. If you are dealing with a very tough situation where someone has done something truly bad, you have to use a method that removes the shame from the action. This is a strategy that professional investigators use when they are talking to suspects. They do not treat the person like a monster. Instead, they try to understand the human reason behind the action. To do this, you want to socialize the behavior. This means you frame the mistake as something that any normal person might do if they were put in a tough spot. You make them feel like they are not the only person in the world who has ever made this mistake. To change the narrative, minimize the bad deed. If a coworker hid a mistake that cost the company a client, do not focus on the lost money. Focus on the pressure they were under.
Speak their language by saying something like, "Look, I know how crazy the deadlines have been lately. Anyone would feel overwhelmed with that much work on their plate." When people get stressed, they sometimes try to sweep things under the rug just to catch their breath. I get it. By showing empathy, you offer a bridge for them to cross. They realize that you understand their pain, which makes it safe for them to say, "Yes, that is exactly what happened. I was just so stressed out." Once you finally get the truth, the way you react in the next 10 seconds will determine your entire future relationship with that person. If they confess and you immediately explode with anger, shout at them, and bring up every mistake they made 5 years ago, they will learn a very dangerous lesson. They will learn that telling you the truth leads to pain, and the next time they do something wrong, they will lie 10 times harder to make sure you never find out. You must reward the honesty, even if you are deeply upset about what they did. Separate the person from the behavior. The behavior might have been bad, but the honesty they just showed is a good thing. To handle the truth productively, thank them for being real. Say something like, "Thank you for telling me the truth. I know that was not easy for you to say, and I really respect you for being honest with me." Next, focus completely on the future. Do not spend hours talking about the mistake. Shift the talk to how you can fix it. Ask them, "Now that we know what happened, what do you think we should do to make this right?" Finally, keep your word. If you promised them earlier in the conversation that they would not get into massive trouble if they came clean, you must keep that promise. If you break your word, you will lose their trust forever. Getting the truth without accusing someone is not about playing dirty games or manipulating the people you love. It's about being the more mature person in the room. It requires you to put your own ego and your own anger to the side, so that you can create a space where honesty can actually breathe. When you stop hunting for liars and start building a space for truth, you will find that people will start opening up to you in ways you never thought possible. Stay put. If you want to know how to spot the secret body language signs,
that shows someone is hiding something from you.